Hello and welcome back to Full Force Combat, proudly sponsored by Hez Boxing Equipment. I'm joined today by the man himself, Mark Madsen, three-time Olympic competitor, 2016 silver medalist, 12-2 mixed martial artist. This man has done it all. He's competed at the highest level in mixed martial arts and wrestling. And he's here with us today to discuss this upcoming project, AIRTOX Dominance FC. We will be attending one of the shows in September, so expect a load of content coming up about that. Just here today to talk through it with Mark. How's it going, Mark? How's things?
It's busy, very busy, but thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on board. Just jumping in straight into the questions. How have you been balancing kind of building ADFC and staying connected to the rest of your life? Has it been a challenge? How big of a challenge has it been to build up this promotion?
I would say it's a big challenge, but it's also very inspiring, and it's something that I love doing. I mean, being the founder and president of a whole new MMA promotion is not only about building something unique, it's also about helping and improving fighters' opportunity in life. And I think that's very, it's both very inspiring, but also very giving. And just to put that in context, I mean, AIRTOX Dominance Fighting Championship is a new promotion out of Scandinavia. I would say we're one of the most hyped MMA promotions out of Scandinavia right now. And we have 3 events behind us now. Full house all 3 times. And I believe we are aiming for the sky. I want to create the Champions League of MMA, and that's really what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, definitely. As you mentioned, you love giving back to the community, and you love giving back to love giving back to the country of Denmark. You have a partnership with the Danish MMA national team. Do you want to see ADFC as the long-term backbone of the MMA growth in Scandinavia, or do you expect to go even beyond that and further and further?
We want to become the Champions League of MMA in Europe. We are very young, but I want us to be the best, the biggest, and the most efficient MMA promotion out there. So everything I'm doing right now, I am doing based on experience. So I've been a fighter, now I'm a promoter. I want to correct all the challenges I know the fighters are dealing with. So we are really aiming high. I want us to be the Champions League of MMA. And just to give you an example of the way I want us to become the biggest and best MMA promotion, right now we are developing a totally new matchmaking system. I call it Tinder of MMA. So we're really developing a revolutionizing new system that will allow fighters, coaches, managers to go in and swipe and just find the next fight. And I already have the one-liner ready. The more you swipe, the more you fight.
Yeah,
that's going to happen at AIRTOX Dominance Fighting Championship. And this system will not only allow fighters to find fights very easy, but it's also the whole flow is going to be thought in the development. So from sign up till you have a signed contract, it's going to be 5 steps. I want the fighters to be able to sign the contract using Face ID. So when I send a contract, all they have to do is look in the camera. The fight is signed. I really want it to be as simple and as efficient as possible. I want to create the Tinder of MMA, and I want AIRTOX Dominance Fighting Championship to be the Champions League of MMA in Europe.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, Mark. I can't wait to hear more about that. That sounds revolutionary in the matchmaking system. But yeah, as you mentioned, you've made the transition now from a high-level athlete competing in the Olympics to elite level MMA, and now you're taking up the promotional role. What's been the hardest shift about moving from an athlete to a promoter?
Not getting the same amount of work in that I did before when it comes to being physical. I think that's really been the most challenging things that I had to overcome, going from being an athlete, being a full-time fighter, and moving into being a promoter. This is my office. This is my YouTube studio. This is where I'm located when I'm not with my family. 12 hours a day, I'm right here. I'm working on manifesting and creating the Champions League of MMA. And naturally, I'm not as physical as I used to be. And that's why I have water here next to me, because I have to watch my calories. Otherwise, I'll end up blowing up. But other than that, I think if you take the mindset I have as an Olympian, if you take the mindset I have as a fighter, and you apply it to the mission that we are on, creating something unique, creating something extraordinary, I think it's very easy. This is a competition. I'm competing with everybody else in Europe. I want to beat Cage Warriors. I want to beat Octagon MMA. I want to beat everyone out there, and I want to become the best MMA promotion in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely love to hear it, Mark. And I think it's very possible. You have the mindset for it, as you can see there. You have the determination. You have the background. You know, you have the personal experience yourself, as we mentioned before. You've gone through the experiences countless times. The weight cuts, the walkouts. You know, the press conferences. I bet you've seen it all. So really looking forward to see where things move forward and develop. Just wanted to kind of jump back and kind of discuss the Olympics for a little second. Your silver medal in 2016 was a very important moment in Danish wrestling, as I think the last time they medalled in wrestling before that was the 1948 London Games. Now, obviously, I bet that was a giant moment for you. So I just wanted to ask about, how did that feel to come home with a medal in a sport which nobody had medalled in a long time, and how did that feel?
It felt absolutely amazing winning an Olympic medal for my country and for myself, for my family. I retired in 2018 from wrestling, and I retired as the most accomplished Danish wrestler of all time. So I take some pride in winning the first Olympic medal to the country of Denmark, and naturally, the whole community in wrestling was super proud and excited about winning this medal. And I will say that medal, that result, not only for me but for Danish wrestling in total, really sparked an interest. And we actually won a bronze medal at the last Olympic Games in Paris, also in wrestling. So, I mean, there has to be a first. And I did that, and now a lot of other wrestlers, good talents, are picking up and performing, and that's what I love to see.
Brilliant. Yeah. So, and then jumping forward in time, when you transitioned into mixed martial arts and had a really successful career in mixed martial arts as well, you were only defeated up until the very end of your career, at the very end in the last two fights. I just wanted to ask, was there anything about those final fights what taught you something, maybe what you didn't know about yourself, and helped you to grow as a leader and as a man? Was there anything there? Is there anything what you learned from a loss, what the wins couldn't teach you?
Absolutely. And I learned a lot from my two last fights. And I would say those are actually some of the fights that I'm absolutely the most proud of. So what happened in my family was that my wife got diagnosed with MS, which is a chronic disease, potentially life-threatening, but also it has some severe risks of being disabling. And we were really struggling in the family. I am a father of 2 kids, and I'm a loving husband, and I really want my family to be safe. I was a fighter, of course, but I've always seen myself as a family man. So just getting to the fight, I had to fight, was a huge fight and was a huge challenge and struggle for me and my family. So it might have been better looking back to call it a day when we got the news of my wife being diagnosed with a MS disease. But I managed to push through. I had an amazing team around me. I think I was actually 10-0 when we got the news. So I kept going. I kept pushing, and I'm very proud of looking back and being able to push through and actually getting to the cage. But realizing I wasn't the best version of myself anymore kind of made it easy and led to me retiring from the sport of MMA and retiring as a UFC fighter.
Were, let's say, by 2030, what kind of short to medium term goals are you looking to pick up with ADFC now? So kind of in the next 5-year plans, if you will, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, the 5-year plan is to become the biggest, best, and most dominating MMA promotion in Europe. That's the 5-year plan. As of now, we are building a show that we want to go. We want to be able to host an amazing show in a new European city every week. This year we had 6 shows. Next year we're going to aim for 12 shows. That's a growth of 100%. I mean, we do not have 70 shows, 80 shows, 90 shows behind us. We have 3 shows behind us, and we've been taking, let's call it, tiger leaps. We are building very fast. We have our own cage. We just bought our own light show. We're going to put it on a truck, and we will be able to, to move out and create these amazing shows very rapidly. So I believe in having everything in-house. You see a lot of MMA promotions, they're hiring in externs like the light crew, the sound crew, the TV production. I want us to have everything in-house just to make it efficient and to make it as controllable as possible. It's very important for me that all our guests attending our shows is going to have an amazing experience. It's very important that all the viewers out there is going to have an amazing experience and be entertained. As a fun fact, we are actually live on Swerve TV, which is on Amazon Prime and Roku. It goes out to almost 80% of all US and Canadian households. So it's a big platform. And after our last show, I got the feedback from Ryan, their guy over there, saying that he thought it was one of the best TV productions he has seen outside of the UFC. That's one of the things that I take, very much pride in, producing and delivering quality, a premium product.
Yes. Yeah, I saw videos online from some of your previous shows, and I thought, considering you are still very early doors and in the infancy, I was very impressed by the production value and just the quality of the production itself. So well done, sir, for that. As you mentioned, you have broadcast deals with Pluto, Swerve Combat, etc., etc. How important is it to you to kind of get as many eyes on as possible, and what is it you're looking for in kind of broadcast partners, I guess?
Well, obviously, I'm trying to create a stage where the talent of tomorrow will be able to perform and will be seen.
Yes.
I think as a fighter, you have to keep in mind that you have a certain amount of fights in you. Everybody, when you're young, you think, oh, I have all the time in the world, but you really don't. You have a certain amount of time, you have a certain amount of fights, And it's very important that you plan the fights you have in you to be on the right events, preferably an event where you have a good TV production, because at the end of the day, if you're aiming at the UFC, they're not going to watch you fight if you're fighting somewhere in a barn or a pub. They're looking at the bigger shows. And right now you see a lot of competitions when it comes to MMA promotions, especially in Europe, probably because the UFC is not attending or not creating a lot of shows in Europe anymore. So you see a lot of competition right now. And I want us to be the best. That's it. I want us to have the best, the biggest, and the most efficient MMA show in Europe.
Outstanding. You mentioned there about you want to showcase the up-and-coming talent, and you want to showcase how good they are on the best platforms possible. So what kind of qualities are you looking for in these younger fighters? Like, for example, in the upcoming ADFC Academy Fear Nothing tournament, with the big cash prize. What kind of qualities are you looking for in the younger fighters who you're bringing onto the promotion?
I'm looking for the new or the next Ilya Taporia. I'm looking for the new or the next Islam Makhachev. I'm looking for the earlier version of Conor McGregor. Those are the fighters we're looking for. And I want them to go up and perform, but I also want them to be outspoken.
Yes.
It's very important that they show me as a promoter, as the president of AIRTOX Dominance Fighting Championship, that they have the guts to speak their mind, not be intimidated by the rest of the community. Go out and manifest. Tell everybody what your dream is, what you're made of, where you want to go, and then go do it. Very simple.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's it.
Brilliant. I love it, Mark. So and just to finish off as well, just wanted to ask, with all the fight business side of it, and when you're matchmaking the fights and when you're planning the show and everything, does it not ever give you like a little twitch or an urge to want to get back in there yourself? Or if you, I know obviously you're retired and you have been for a couple of years, but do you ever get those thoughts coming back? And I just wanted to ask, did you still manage to train as well? Because I bet that gives you a bit of a hunger maybe while you're doing all this, to maybe get in the gym and train a little bit, if you still if you still do that anyway.
I am still getting a little bit of work in, not the same amount that I used to do, but hey, if the right fight is there, I have my own promotion. If Conor McGregor wants a taste of it, I'll put him in the cage, I'll step up and I'll smash him.
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah. Would love to see that, Mark. So cheers for watching, guys. I've been Alex from Full Force Combat. I've been joined today by Mark Madsen. Really looking forward to seeing more from AIRTOX Dominance FC.